You are born on cold stone. Your mother lies exhausted on a straw mattress inside a cramped room in a wooden barracks near the edge of a Roman military camp. The smell of sweat, leather, and smoke fills the air. Outside, soldiers shout orders in harsh Latin. You do not belong to a peaceful town. You belong to the frontier. Your father is a Roman legionary stationed near the forests of Germania, a hard man with scarred hands and broken teeth. He does not smile when he sees you. Children are common in the camps. Most do not survive. Winter winds push through cracks in the wooden walls. The fire is weak. Your mother wraps you in rough wool. You begin life cold. You grow up surrounded by soldiers. The camp never sleeps. Hammers ring against metal as armor is repaired. Horses scream in the stables. Men drill endlessly in the training yard. Spears rise and fall like waves. You crawl through mud between rows of tents. You learn early that the world belongs to the strong. Your father returns from patrols covered in mud and blood. Sometimes it is not his blood. Sometimes it is. He smells of iron and smoke. He rarely speaks. You are 5 when you first see a corpse. Germanic raiders attacked a supply caravan outside the camp. The survivors drag the bodies through the gate on a wooden cart. The dead soldiers are stiff, their faces gray. One man's throat is open like a torn sack. The veterans do not react. Death is routine. Your father simply spits and says, "That will be you one day if you are unlucky." You grow stronger in the shadow of war. By the time you are 10, you carry water buckets for soldiers and help clean their equipment. Your hands grow rough from leather strops and sharpened steel. You watch them train. Rows of legionaries slam wooden swords against shields again and again. Their movements are mechanical, perfect. A centurion screams insults. A man who moves too slowly is beaten with a vine staff until he bleeds. Discipline is law here. At 14, you stop being a child. A recruiting officer examines you like livestock. He checks your teeth, your shoulders, your legs. "You are strong enough," he says. Your father nods. You are handed a simple tunic and told to stand in line with other boys. You will become a legionary. There is no celebration. Training begins before sunrise. Cold air burns your lungs as you run around the perimeter of the camp carrying heavy gear. Your legs shake. If you slow down, the instructors strike you. You learn to march in perfect formation, hour after hour. Left foot, right foot. The ground becomes a drum beneath thousands of boots. The equipment is heavy. Your shield alone weighs more than a child. The curved wood presses against your shoulder until the skin tears. Your armor chafes constantly. Your helmet smells like old sweat and rust. You practice stabbing with a short sword into straw dummies again and again. The instructors shout the same words every day. Do not slash. Stab. Stab again. Food is never luxurious. You eat coarse bread, porridge, and salted meat when supplies are good. When supplies are bad, you eat less. The camp smells of boiled grain and wood smoke. Flies gather everywhere. You sleep on straw beside dozens of other recruits. Snoring, coughing, and muttering fill the darkness. Months pass. Your body becomes harder. Your shoulders widen. Your feet bleed less during marches. But the beatings never stop. The centurions believe pain creates discipline. They might be right. Your first campaign begins when you are 18. Orders arrive at dawn. Germanic tribes have crossed the river again. Villages along the frontier are burning. You pack your gear quickly. Shield, helmet, sword, rations. The gates of the camp open. Thousands of legionaries march into the forests. Germania is nothing like Rome. The forests are endless. Thick trees block the sky. The ground is wet and uneven. Fog clings to the earth like a living thing. You cannot see far ahead. You cannot see far behind. Every shadow feels like an ambush. The march is exhausting. Heavy armor rubs against your skin. Your pack digs into your back. Mud pulls at your sandals. The column moves slowly through narrow forest paths. Scouts ride ahead on horseback. Everyone is quiet. The enemy knows this land better than you. The attack comes suddenly. A horn echoes through the trees, then screaming. Germanic warriors burst from the forest on both sides of the column, painted faces, long hair, axes raised high. Arrows fall from the branches above. A man beside you collapses with a shaft through his neck. Blood sprays across your shield. Your training takes over. The centurion roars commands. Shields! You lock your shield with the men beside you. Wood crashes against wood as enemy axes strike the wall. The forest fills with chaos. You stab forward blindly through gaps in the shield line. Your sword hits something soft. A man screams. You stab again and again. You cannot see clearly. You only feel resistance against the blade. A Germanic warrior lunges toward you with a spear. His beard is matted with dirt. You thrust your sword upward into his stomach. His eyes widen. Warm blood runs over your hands. The battle lasts less than 20 minutes. When the shouting stops, the forest becomes quiet again. Bodies cover the ground. Roman soldiers drag wounded men into a clearing. Some scream for help. Others lie still. Flies arrive quickly. You stare at the corpse you stabbed. Your first kill. You feel nothing. The campaign lasts months. You march through villages that smell of smoke and death. Homes burned to the ground. Livestock scattered. Sometimes the tribes fight. Sometimes they vanish into the forests before you arrive. The Legion destroys everything anyway. War is not precise. Disease spreads through the camp. Dirty water and exhaustion weaken the soldiers. Men cough constantly. One night, a soldier in your tent begins vomiting blood. By morning, he is dead. The body is dragged away without ceremony. Another man takes his place. Winter arrives early. Snow covers the forests. Your armor freezes against your skin during night watch. Fingers lose feeling. Several soldiers lose toes to frostbite. The enemy stops attacking, but the cold becomes the new enemy. Years pass in this cycle. March, fight, build camps, march again. You cross rivers, mountains, and burning villages. Your sword becomes dull from constant use. Your shield is replaced twice. Scars spread across her arms and ribs. You survive battles that kill many others. A spear once punches through your shield and grazes your side. The wound festers for weeks. Another time, an arrow strikes your helmet and glances away. Luck becomes your greatest ally. Not skill, luck. By 30, you are no longer a young soldier. Your knees ache during long marches. Your back stiffens in the mornings. You have watched dozens of recruits arrive and die. The Legion continues without slowing. Rome always needs soldiers. One autumn morning, orders arrive for a massive campaign. Several Germanic tribes have united. This time the enemy is larger, more dangerous. The entire legion prepares for battle. The battlefield lies in a wide clearing surrounded by dark forest. Thousands of Roman soldiers form tight lines across the field. Across from you stand thousands of warriors. They scream and pound their weapons against shields. The sound rolls like thunder. The signal horn blows. The two armies collide. Your shield slams into another shield. Swords flash in every direction. Men fall instantly. You stab forward through the chaos. A warrior swings a heavy axe toward your head. You raise your shield just in time. The impact rattles your teeth. You push forward with the formation. Step, stab, step, stab again. A man beside you falls with his face split open. Another soldier steps forward to fill the gap immediately. The line must never break. The battle lasts hours. Your arms feel like stone. Blood covers the grass. The enemy slowly retreats toward the forest. When the horns finally signal victory, the field is silent except for the groans of the wounded. You survive again, but the victory feels hollow. Hundreds of Roman bodies lie among the enemy dead. You recognize several faces, men you marched beside for years. Now they are just shapes in the mud. Time begins to wear you down. Your injuries never fully heal. Old wounds ache in cold weather. Your hearing weakens after years of battle noise. The younger soldiers move faster than you now. Then, one night during a routine patrol, everything changes. Your unit moves through thick forest under pale moonlight. The path is narrow, too narrow. Suddenly, arrows rain from the darkness. Ambush. You raise your shield, but feel a sharp impact in your leg. An arrow has pierced through your thigh. You collapse into the mud. The battle continues around you, but your vision blurs. Pain spreads through your body like fire. When the fight ends, the surviving soldiers gather the wounded. You try to stand. Your leg refuses. Blood soaks your tunic. The medic removes the arrow slowly. You scream. The wound becomes infected within days. Your leg swells. Fever burns through your body. You lie in a damp tent while the army continues marching. Flies crawl over the bandages. The medic shakes his head quietly. You know what that means. Weeks later, the Legion leaves you behind in a frontier settlement. You are no longer useful. A soldier who cannot march cannot fight. A soldier who cannot fight is dead weight. You spend your final months limping through muddy streets near the frontier. Your savings are small. Work is scarce. The locals fear Roman soldiers. Your body weakens. The infection spreads slowly. One cold morning, you wake up unable to stand. Your leg is black with rot. The smell fills the room. You lie back on the rough bed and stare at the ceiling. Outside, soldiers march past on the road. The war continues, without you. You die quietly that night. No ceremony, no monument. A few villagers carry your body outside the settlement and bury you in shallow earth. Your sword is not buried with you. It will be given to another soldier. Your life as a Roman legionary can be counted in numbers. 16 years of service, 9 battles survived, 3 serious wounds, hundreds of miles marched, thousands of enemies faced, 1 infected arrow that ended everything. What did you gain? A few coins, scars, memories of endless forests and screaming men. What did you lose? Your youth, your health, your chance to grow old. Rome called it glory, but standing alone in the cold mud of the frontier, glory feels very small. You wanted to serve an empire. This is the price of empire. If you want to witness more lives history tried to forget, stay here. There are many more stories buried in the dirt.